In 1996, a family bought what they thought was their dream ranch in Utah. Within 18 months, they had lost multiple cattle to unexplained mutilations.
Then their animals started being mutilated. Cows, the tracks would lead out into the snow and then just be gone.
Witnessed massive wolf-like creatures that seemed bulletproof, and watched glowing orbs emerge from what appeared to be portals in the sky above their property. They sold the ranch and never spoke publicly about their experiences again. But their story was just the beginning of Skinwalker Ranch's journey from a quiet cattle operation to the most intensively monitored piece of real estate in America, where billion-dollar aerospace companies now conduct classified research into phenomena that challenge everything we think we know about reality.
With support from Nevada Senator Harry Reid, and actually became the largest UFO investigation ever undertaken by the U.S. government, at least as far as we know.
But the investigators for the program, all of whom had top security clearances, encountered things that were far stranger than UFOs, phenomena that could be accurately described as paranormal.
But before we dive in, some of the details in the story are disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. As always, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with the channel. All right, let's dive into the video. Skinwalker Ranch sits in the Uinta Basin, abutting the Uinta and Ouray Indian Reservation, home to the Ute tribe. Long before European settlers staked their claims, this area was steeped in legend. The Utes spoke of it with reverence and fear, a place where the natural and supernatural blurred. They told stories of portals to other realms, of evil spirits rising from springs and waterways, dragging the unwary into depths unknown. These weren't just campfire tales. They were warnings etched into the cultural memory. But the name Skinwalker itself draws from Navajo folklore.
And we noticed that Native Americans were much more open about describing phenomena, but it was generally because, I think it's generally because they had large amounts of relatives, family members, friends, also witnesses. So they were never, I don't remember a case where they were ever unconfirmed.
Skinwalkers are malevolent witches, shapeshifters who don the skins of animals to wreak havoc. They're said to be born from taboo acts, cursed beings who can transform into wolves, coyotes, or worse. According to some oral traditions, the Navajo were driven from this land in the late 19th century by the Utes, allied with American forces. In their desperation, it's whispered, they placed a curse on the area, a lingering malediction that manifests as chaos. Louise Tsinigini, a spokesperson for the Navajo Nation, once noted that while skinwalkers aren't openly discussed, in times of great wrongdoing, such mythological horrors could indeed arise. The ranch, she suggested, might fit right into those dark narratives. European explorers arrived in the 1770s, and even they documented oddities. Franciscan missionary Silvestre Vélez de Escalante wrote of strange fireballs dancing in the sky over the basin, harbingers, perhaps, what was to come. By the early 1900s, the land was homesteaded. From 1934 to 1994, it belonged to Kenneth and Edith Myers, who reportedly lived there without much incident. But whispers persisted among locals. Unusual lights, disembodied sounds, a sense of being watched. In 1911, newspapers mentioned strange noises plaguing the area. Was it all folklore bleeding into reality, or something more? Fast forward to 1994. Enter Terry and Gwen Sherman, a hard-working couple with 4 children, looking for a fresh start. They bought the 512-acre property, envisioning a peaceful life, raising cattle. What they got was a nightmare. From day one, things felt off. As they unloaded their belongings, they noticed heavy-duty locks and chains on every door and window, even the kitchen cabinets. The previous owners had bolted the place like a fortress. Why? The Shermans would soon find out. It started small. Odd impressions in the grass and soil, like something heavy had landed there overnight. Then came the lights. glowing orbs that hovered silently over the fields, pulsing with an otherworldly hue. The family watched in awe and terror as these spheres darted erratically, sometimes vanishing into thin air. But awe turned to horror with the cattle mutilations. One by one, their prized livestock were found dead, carved with surgical precision. Eyes gouged out, organs removed, hides sliced cleanly, but no blood, not a drop. No tracks, no signs of struggle. It was as if the animals had been dropped from the sky, already dissected. Terry Sherman recounted one chilling incident. He spotted a massive wolf-like creature prowling near the herd. It was enormous, bigger than any wolf he'd seen, with piercing red eyes that gleamed in the dark. He fired his rifle point blank, 3 shots that should have killed a bear. The beast shrugged it off like mosquito bites and loped away unscathed. Later, they found tracks that ended abruptly, as if the thing had vanished mid-stride. The phenomena escalated. Crop circles appeared overnight. Intricate patterns pressed into the earth without a trace of entry. Poltergeist activity plagued the house. Objects moved on their own. Doors slammed shut with no wind. Voices whispered in empty rooms. Gwen heard guttural growls outside her window at night. The children saw shadowy figures lurking in the barns. And then there were the portals, swirling vortices of light that seemed to open in the air, spewing forth bizarre entities. One night, a bright blue orb floated into their living room, expanding into a tunnel from which a large humanoid figure emerged before retreating back into nothingness.
So they don't have any evidence of that except for what the rancher told them. But then they talked to the larger community, and the same thing has been happening to all the neighbors. The guy who lives next door had lost all these cattle as well, seized the craft.
The Shermans weren't alone in their terror. Neighbors whispered of similar sightings. In nearby Bottle Hollow, a man-made reservoir on Ute land filled in 1970 under government mandate. Witnesses reported lights plunging into the water and emerging transformed. In 1998, a police officer saw a massive light dive in and reappear, zipping off into the night. 4 years later, young men watched a blue-white ball enter the lake, only to resurface as a shimmering belt of light that danced across the sky before hugging the ground and vanishing below Skinwalker Ridge. After 18 months of unrelenting weirdness, the Shermans had enough. They went public in June 1996, sharing their story with a local reporter. The tale spread like wildfire, catching the eye of billionaire Robert Bigelow, a real estate magnate with a passion for the paranormal.
You buy it.
Yeah.
What was your intention with the ranch?
Well, first I spent quite a bit of time talking to Terry Sherman. He and his wife and 2 children lived there.
Bigelow, founder of Bigelow Aerospace, had long funded UFO research. He saw potential in the ranch, a living laboratory for the unexplained.
And I believe that this guy was a squared away. He was a straight shooter. He wasn't throwing baloney at me, and these encounters were real.
Before we continue on, if you are enjoying the video so far, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't like it, let me know down in the comments. Your support truly means everything. All right, back to the video.
I also I got very disturbed toward the end about something that happened to some of the government people.
In 1996, Bigelow snapped up the property for $200,000 and founded the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDS. This wasn't some amateur ghost hunt. It was a serious operation. He assembled a team of scientists, including biochemist Colum Kelleher and retired Army Colonel John B. Alexander. They installed round-the-clock surveillance, cameras, sensors, the works. Their mission? To document the impossible with hard data. What they found, or claimed to find, was staggering. Kelleher himself spotted a large humanoid perched in a tree one night in March 1997. It had yellow eyes that pierced the darkness. When the team approached, it vanished, leaving behind massive, raptor-like prints in the snow. Invisible objects emitted magnetic fields strong enough to disrupt equipment.
Let me repeat that. pieces of ceramics that appeared to be highly engineered.
Bigfoot-like creatures were sighted, along with more mutilations. One incident involved a healthy calf killed in broad daylight. No tracks, no blood, just precise excisions of tissue. The team logged hundreds of anomalies: transient magnetic spikes, infrasonic vibrations that rattled bones.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen noise like this before. It's broad spectrum.
Seismic activity without earthquakes. Phones drained instantly. Cameras malfunctioned. Eric Bard, a physicist later involved, would describe electromagnetic interference causing vertigo, nausea, even temporary paralysis. Was the ranch generating its own fields, or was something else at play? In 2005, Kelleher and investigative journalist George Knapp published Hunt for the Skinwalker, a book detailing the chaos. It painted the ranch as a hotspot where dimensions collided, portals opening to other worlds, entities slipping through. By 2016, Bigelow sold the ranch for around $500,000 to a mysterious entity, Adamantium Real Estate LLC. Roads were blocked, barbed wire went up, signs warned of surveillance. The new owner? Brandon Fugal, another real estate tycoon and self-described open-minded skeptic. Fugal initially kept his ownership secret, planning to use the land for scout camps. But after personal experiences, like an employee sighting a UFO in 2016, he dove in. Fugal invested millions in upgrades: HD cameras, infrared, thermal imaging, magnetometers, seismometers, LIDAR, drones, ground-penetrating radar. He hired experts like Bard, who linked health effects to magnetic anomalies.
The hitchhiker phenomena, according to you, is real.
We have data demonstrating that there is validity to those claims.
You remember saw it?
Yeah. So, you know, the hitchhiker phenomenon, that's what it's been called. It's an attachment. So you go to the ranch, you encounter weird stuff there, and it follows you home. There were 5 intelligence officers during the OSAP study who went to the ranch. All 5 of them had experiences on the ranch, and all 5 of those had this thing follow him home. One of these guys didn't even tell his family about what he had encountered at the property because it's classified. He couldn't tell them, and they start seeing things. It spread to his family almost like a virus.
Ranch Superintendent Thomas Winterton heard voices commanding him to stop and leave. Security head Bryant Dragon. Arnold felt something slam into his bed at night. Caretaker Candace Lind described the ranch as having a personality. Quiet, yet watchful. Under Fugal, activity ramped up.
Illnesses and injuries have occurred at your ranch.
Absolutely.
Several of our investigations have led us to focus attention on what we've been calling the triangle. We have magnetic anomalies, we have equipment, I would say malfunctions.
Drones crashed in the triangle area, a spot suspected of housing an interdimensional portal. Helicopters experienced interference.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen noise like this before. It's broad spectrum.
Oh, what the hell?
What do you got?
Just something went by. It looked like small orbs. There's another one.
At the same time, we're seeing these elevated levels of RF noise. He's only seeing them in this night vision technology.
Here's one, right underneath us.
I don't know whether to be terrified or excited.
Brandon, I'm uncomfortable.
Doors at Homestead 2 slammed from inside, with no one there. Audio glitches, battery drains, cryptic messages via sound waves. Fugal himself saw a silver-gray object maneuvering erratically above the mesa.
Right where he's pointing, right ahead of us, right above the mesa, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on October 14th, and there is a 40, 50 foot long silver grayish disc-like object. What can only be described as a flying saucer.
In 2018, the History Channel came knocking. Fugal agreed to a docuseries on one condition: no faking. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch premiered in 2020, blending science and suspense. It features experiments like lasers revealing hidden structures, thermography spotting heat anomalies. Spin-offs like Beyond Skinwalker Ranch explore similar sites. The show boasts millions of viewers, turning the ranch into a pop culture phenomenon. But is it entertainment or evidence? UFOs, or UAPs as they're now called, are a staple. Witnesses describe discs, orbs, even massive crafts hovering silently. One report from the Bigelow era, a floating object that pursued researchers, emitting beams that caused burns. Cattle mutilations continue. Animals found with organs excised, no blood, sometimes mid-air drops implied by broken branches. Cryptids abound. The bulletproof wolf, the tree-perched humanoid, Bigfoot sightings, shapeshifters fitting the Skinwalker myth, beings that morph from human to animal, poltergeists, objects levitating, voices in multiple languages, shadows that move with intent, portals, swirling lights opening gateways from which creatures emerge, electromagnetic weirdness, fields spiking to dangerous levels, causing illness, barred replicated phone glitches with magnets, but the source? Unknown. Is it extraterrestrial? Interdimensional? A government black site testing tech? Some point to nearby Dugway Proving Ground, a military base dubbed Area 52, where bioweapons and UFOs are rumored. Others invoke ancient curses or geological anomalies, perhaps rare Earth elements amplifying energies. Skeptics would say it was mass hysteria, misidentification, hoaxes for profit. The Shermans might have exaggerated to sell. Bigelow's funding skewed results. Fugel's show sensationalizes. Ufologist Barry Greenwood criticized the Pentagon program for lacking evidence after decades. It's a cellar of belief, he said. Yet the mystery endures. Government interest persists. Fugel briefs senators, witnesses, from scientists to locals, swear by their experiences. Is Skinwalker Ranch a window to the unknown? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then check out these videos on the screen now. If you have a topic suggestion, please send it to the email in the description. And as always, remember to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the only thing stranger than this story is missing out on our next video.